Okay, so what I want to do here for you guys is show you what I expect from you when I ask you to write something. This might be in a discussion post, it might be for an assignment, whatever it might be. Typically, I expect a 5 sentence paragraph. This is real general. It can always be longer, but this is kind of a minimum expectation of mine. You know, and the reason why I ask for it is because then you give me meat on the bones when I show you how to do this. You give me specific details. You stay away from words like things and stuff, and you give me specific things that you've learned and you tie them into the question. And that's what I'm really looking for. Now, when it comes to discussion posts, do I always want a 5 sentence paragraph? No. Those are usually going to be briefer. But, you know, most of the time, whenever I ask for something in an assignment form, I'm going to want to see at a minimum this 5 sentence type of setup. You can see the first sentence here, and by the way, it's not like I expect you to write these sentences in each box or something like that. I'm just giving you a graphic organizer here so you understand what I expect. So in a 5 sentence paragraph, you can see this first box is your introduction. So if I gave you an overarching question like, I don't know, why did the Americans revolt against Great Britain? Your introductory sentence should say something along the lines of, in this paragraph, I'm going to discuss 3 specific reasons why the Americans revolted against Great Britain. Something along those lines, like that. Then you go down to your next sentence down here to specific detail number 1. And you want to be specific. You don't want to say things like, well, they revolted because they were mad, or taxation without representation. Are those true? Yeah, they are. They were mad. There was taxation without representation. But let's be a little more specific. You know, your first specific detail might be, well, after the French and Indian War, Great Britain was running out of money, and so they decided to do something they had never done before. They taxed the American colonies, and one of those first taxes was the Stamp Act, which was a tax placed on all paper goods. That's very specific, and that's what I'm looking for. You give a reason, you explain what the reason was about, so your reader, if they don't know anything about the Stamp Act, understand that, oh yeah, I would be kind of mad about that too. Then you go on to specific detail number 2, and you say something along the lines of, you know, another act or law that was passed that really upset the colonists was the Quartering Act. And in the Quartering Act, it allowed British troops to stay in American homes. And Americans, as a result of the Quartering Act, had to feed those troops, had to provide room for them, you know, had to basically give them room and board. Well, you think about it, if you're not making a lot of money, if you're getting all these new taxes placed on you, you're not going to want to necessarily take care of another British troop or something like that, more so than your family. So that's a specific detail there. Notice I have not said the word things or stuff. If you look at your writing and you see something along the lines of, well, they were mad about a lot of things, or they did a lot of bad stuff, go back and find something specific that they had done bad, or something specific that made people mad. Okay, so hopefully you're getting the idea of where I'm going with this. Meat on the bones for these specific details. Then you'd go on to your third specific detail. And the straw that broke the camel's back was the coercive acts. And the coercive acts were a series of 4 different laws that were passed because of the Boston Tea Party. And you might explain a couple of those acts. All right. And then your conclusion statement is very simple. You just say something along the lines of, for the reasons mentioned above, this is why the Americans revolted against Great Britain. You know, something along those lines. But I just really need you to understand that I want very specific detail. You guys are, for the most part, juniors and some seniors. I expect you to write well. I expect you to write organized in a fashion like this. Some of you are I'm sure, excellent writers, and this is, you know, something that you're like, yeah, I'm fine. But I just want to make sure you understand what I expect of you. Probably what's going to happen here is in the next day or so, I'll give you an overarching question about history. We'll come up with some sort of question. You'll practice this 5 sentence paragraph type setup, and we'll work on uploading our first assignment into the Moodle classroom. I hope this helps you out. I hope you're having a good time. I'm really looking forward to teaching you guys. And one of the biggest things that will help this class be fun is if you guys can just check in each day. You never know, there might be new things added. There might be things taken away. I would like to do some group type of work, but the only way that works is if we're all checking in on a regular basis. So please keep that in mind. Have a great night. Talk to you later.